What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to Layla for her contributions to the channel. Alright, Layla is a huge supporter of this channel and a big time Hoops fan, and she has contributed to this channel quite a few times over the past several months. And I want to thank everybody that has contributed to this channel over the past year, and I want to thank everybody that has supported this channel over the past several years. Alright, so without you guys, I wouldn't be anywhere on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And I've been looking at my my channel. I'm like, wow, like I can't believe that I'm getting close to 25,000 subscribers. Like, I never thought I would get anywhere near there. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I thought, at best, I might get like 3,000-4,000 subs when I first started this channel. That's what I was just hoping for, you know what I'm saying? So, I want to thank everybody that has supported my channel over the past several years. Now, I know Layla is a Michael Jordan fan, so I know she's elated at this latest ESPN poll, which shows Michael Jordan being the GOAT, all right, over LeBron James by a huge margin, a 73% margin over LeBron James. Now, there was a poll similar to this that came out either last year or 2018, one of the two. And that poll was conducted amongst NBA players. And if memory serves me correctly, Jordan won by a 73% margin in that poll. This poll, however, which was conducted between May 8th and 11th, was amongst NBA fans. And it was a scientific poll. It was broken down in a scientific manner, evenly distributed between two age groups, 18 to 34-year-olds and 35-year-old respondents and older. Remember, I told you about these age demographics before, right? And Jordan swept every question. They had 17 questions that they asked these respondents, and Jordan won by a healthy or huge margin on all of the questions, 17 different questions. Now, I looked at the questions, and I'm for the most part, I'm not surprised at the results of each question. The only ones I'm kind of surprised at are the questions revolving around passing, which I thought LeBron would win on, and off the court stuff. Because even some of the LeBron fans might say something like this. They'll say something like, well, look, I'll admit it's close as a player. They'll say something like, look, I'll even give you Mike being the superior player. But what I think pushes LeBron over Mike is the off-the-court stuff. Now, I don't look at it like that for the most part. Some people include that stuff. But generally speaking, most people consider LeBron to be the superior philanthropist, the superior social activist, I guess. Although LeBron has his detractors, and people will say, well, LeBron is only doing these things for press. LeBron is only doing these things for the publicity. LeBron's only doing this thing to make himself look good, whatever. But even with the poll, somehow Jordan beat LeBron 62% to 38%. So I don't know. I can't help but think that the Last Dance documentary did have some type of influence on this poll. I mean, you can't help but think it had some type of influence on the poll. I do think the Last Dance documentary reminded a lot of people about what Michael Jordan was all about. Okay? And it's not going to change everybody's minds. A lot of people will tell you they think it's LeBron James as far as being the GOAT, and nothing's going to change their mind about it. Some people tell you it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and nothing's going to change people's minds about it. Some people will tell you they think it's Magic Johnson, and I do think Magic Johnson gets shortchanged, and nothing's going to change people's minds about it. Some people think it's Larry Bird. Some people think it's Kobe Bryant. Some people even tell you they think it's Julius Dr. Irvin. And nothing's going to change their fucking minds about it. And I respect it 100%. My thing is this. If you think it's somebody else that's the GOAT, that's fine. I just don't like when people have to tear other people down to present your argument. You know what I'm saying? I kind of don't like that. I mean, whatever. That's just me. Because you should be able to present your argument without even having to do that. Honestly. You know what I'm saying? But in all honesty, though, pushing all that aside, what does that mean? What does this mean? Okay, what does it mean that, Jordan keep winning these ESPN polls? Well, it's just a poll, I didn't think Jordan should have won that ESPN tournament poll where Jordan was crowned the greatest college player of all time. So I can't sit up here and beat my chest because he won this poll. All right, so I do know that there are some people who vote who love the Chicago Bulls, love their era of basketball. Okay, so I can't sit up there and say that doesn't influence things. Okay, but I will say this. This is just my opinion. Okay. It's interesting and ironic that ESPN, aka Le ESPN, which has guys that come on every day, like your Chris Broussards, your Nick Wrights, your Shannon Sharps, your Jay Williams, your Kendrick Perkins, Ryan Hollins, the guy that looks like a field mouse. I can never remember his damn name. He looks like he jumped off the screen of The Great Mouse Detective. Oh, right again, oh, right again. Oh, where's the most famous rat? What did you call me? Yeah, all these guys that every day tell you how great LeBron James is and why he should be over Jordan. Every day they pound it in our heads. We need to get over the Jordan era, move on, and look at reality. Yet, every poll that comes out shows people just not buying that bullshit. They're not buying it. There's going to be people that are going to just say, well, these polls are biased. These polls don't really ask everybody. Whatever they're going to spend it, people are just going to spend anything they don't like, But these polls do mean this, though. To me, a majority of people, what number, I don't know, but majority of people still feel like Michael Jordan was the best player they ever saw. Okay? They still feel like that. Now, it's amazing to me how 17 years after he last played and 22 years after he won his last title, and an amazing, incredible 36 years almost after he was drafted by the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan is still looked at as a consensus GOAT. That's amazing. Okay? It's fucking amazing. Like, the only persons I can think of that have been that influential for that long, as far as being looked at upon as possibly the best in their sport, but this type of dominance, is Ali, maybe. And even with Ali, it's iffy, because, and this is what I mean. When I was growing up, okay, in the 80s, into the 90s, the GOAT was Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, it was almost a fucking fact. It was Sugar Ray Robinson when it comes to boxing. Now, I don't even hear Sugar Ray Robinson's name mentioned anymore, which aggravates the fuck out of me. Not only do they not mention Sugar Ray Robinson, you don't hear Henry Armstrong's name mentioned. You don't hear about Charlie Burley. Okay, you don't hear about Sam Langford. You don't hear Jack Johnson's name mentioned anymore. And across the racial lines, you don't hear about Harry Greb. Okay, Harry Greb was a hell of a motherfucking fighter. That white boy fought his ass off. Okay, you don't hear about none of these goddamn fighters anymore. And that's because of a lack of historical perspective when it comes to boxing, and a lack of historical perspective and a lack of historical respect when it comes to these sports entities. That's why I don't like watching boxing anymore, because there's a lack of historical perspective. Okay, in the NBA, I was waning for a while with that. That's why, you know what I'm saying, people can say, you know, Too Raw stuck in the past. Nah, I'm not stuck in the past. I'm not stuck in the past. I want the future and the present to be framed correctly by remembering the past. That's what I'm doing. But now everybody tells you it's Ali's the GOAT. And I love Ali. He's my favorite boxer. Okay? But I don't think it's definitive to say he's the GOAT. Because you could say that he may be the greatest heavyweight. Because you got Joe Louis in the conversation. You got Jack Johnson in the conversation. You got Larry Holmes possibly in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the greatest heavyweight, but there's other people in the conversation. Basically, what I'm saying is people need to get a better historical perspective of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I think in all sports, the knowledge of past athletes is diminishing. The NFL used to really treasure their history. I don't like the NFL anymore, but they used to treasure their history. Baseball used to really treasure their history. Now I'm even seeing a fall off with them. So that's pretty much all I got to say, man. You know, I think most people aren't surprised that Michael Jordan is seen as the GOAT in the NBA. And it's hard for me to name another player that fits his mold. That could even fill his shoes, because his popularity is pretty much unprecedented. For him to reach those stratospheric levels of popularity in that era, the only people that could match that is Ali in his prime in the 70s, Michael Jackson in his prime in the 80s and early 90s. For a sports athlete to reach that level of popularity, and not only that, but to actually exceed expectations, to win 6 championships, and to dominate his sport the way he did during his career, it was a phenomenal career. And to still hold the influence that he has, the respect that he has over the league and over players that weren't even born when he was playing, it's unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, a lot of people don't like him, and I understand completely why you don't like him. But the man was fucking phenomenal, man. The way that he dominated his competition when he played. This fucking comparatively diminutive 6'6" guard. Mike was 6'6", 189 pounds when he first came in the league. Really, technically, 6'4", I think, and a half, and 190 pounds, and averaged 28 points a game as a rookie. Led the NBA in total points his first year. Probably would have won a scoring title in '86 if he didn't get injured. Probably would have won a scoring title in '86. So it's phenomenal, man. But tell me what you guys think.